So we're up at my camp in Victory, Vermont, family camp, and it's the end of May. We've got a lot of work to do. I have been gone for almost a month and a half, and we've got some food plots that need to get seeded this weekend. We got a lot of rain coming on Saturday and Sunday. Today is Thursday, so my uncle Stevie's up here. We got a lot of work to do. He's spraying. We've got rye grass in these food plots right now. One of the food plots is brand new since last year, so the soil's pretty terrible in there. So he's gonna spray them. We're gonna put some lime down, liquid lime, and then I'm gonna go put a York rake on the back of this Kubota. And we don't have our tiller up here because that is down for the count, which is okay. I don't really want to till. The new plot is so rocky that it would just destroy a rototiller anyway. So I'm gonna put the York rake on the back and York rake that once he's done spraying it, and hopefully I'll be able to get some of the big rocks that have been washed out. It's just been hard with that. It's a lot of clay here, so when it rains hard, it just takes the seed right away. And even if we, disc it up a little bit, I used a disc harrow last year just to get some rocks up, and it worked well. Our buckwheat came in really nice, but once we planted our fall, winter, spring blend, it was we got a lot of rain and it washed it all down. So we didn't have a huge success last year with that plot, but we'll see what happens this year. I'm hoping the York rake will just scrape the surface just enough to break up the top bit of soil, and we'll seed it with some buckwheat. Luckily, buckwheat is a pretty big seed, so it's harder for the rain to wash it away. But yeah, we'll see how it goes this weekend. All right, so this is a York rake I'm gonna use. Dude, look at this thing. Sweet old Boland's tractor lawnmower. That thing hasn't been started in about 100 years probably. Anyway, that's what we're using. I need to move this. This is for our skid steer or bobcat. So I gotta move this out of the way with the Kubota and a chain, and should be good to go to hook that up. I'm gonna try and make it so that the back piece here sits against that, so it's not rocking around everywhere. Don't really know where I'm gonna put it yet, but I'll find a spot. All right, so here is the food plot. This is called our south food plot. So if you remember, at camp is literally like, I don't know, 300 yards that way. The food plot I'm doing next, there's two logging roads right here. One there, one right there. And then there is another one there, but it goes off to the left. But these two cross over, go down into a nice wetland area, and then our other food plot's there. But as you can see, it's not great soil, very rocky, a lot of granite, very clayey. But here's some ryegrass that came back from last year. So down here doesn't do very well right now. I mean, you can see where the water last year when we planted, the rain washes everything down this way, and I'll kind of show you where it runs everything. So it usually collects everything, comes down through here, and it piles up right there really bad. So this is usually a big thing of water, which is kind of okay. It creates a watering hole. I don't really want it in the middle of a food plot, but you can see everything just runs right off this way, and you can see all the exposed rock. So I thought about kind of adding some material here and making a bit deeper gorge that runs through here, but I don't think it's even worth it. I think I'm just gonna leave it and basically seed from the edge over. So all of this over here, we planted switchgrass last year, so this whole outer edge around everything is gonna be all switchgrass. Obviously we've got quite a bit of weeds coming in, some random stuff, but it's coming back pretty good. I'm not exactly sure what this is, but it is not switchgrass. I don't think, anyway. It might be, but I don't think it is. This is switchgrass here. So it's coming back pretty strong this year. I just got to go in and spot spray everything, and I'll probably reseed again, or I'll wait to frost seed this winter. So as you can see up here, the ryegrass came back a lot better, and you can see all of this stuff is buckwheat. So we do a no-till style planting. So we plant buckwheat, which I'll be planting this weekend, and we let that grow to about waist height, and then we spray it. Well, then we seed into it with our fall, winter, spring blend, or whatever we're planting for the fall. And we'll wait for it to get about waist high, and then we'll spray it, roll it. While there's seed in it, you can spread seed right into the standing buckwheat, which is amazing. And then as you lay that over, buckwheat has a very stiff, basically like this rye. So if you watch this, I can break that stem, and that buckwheat will stay rolled over like that. And it's kind of like if you use hay on a new yard. You're keeping moisture in the ground, less erosion by tilling and working the dirt every year. So we've been doing this for a couple years now, and it's worked really well. Not so much on this food plot, just because it's been a pain in the butt. It's all down sloped that way, and it's just clay, so everything just runs right off the top. But I will say the buckwheat in here last year did a great job. The fall, winter, spring blend, when I planted into it, we just got like 3 inches of rain one weekend, and it took it all down that way. But as you can see, there's some stuff that the ryegrass came back. We did have some turnips in here that were big turnips, but it just didn't, a lot of stuff didn't take. So we're hopefully looking for a better year with that. But yeah, this is the other side of the switchgrass. So we were just down over there, but you can see there's just a lot of weeds coming in. So I got to come in here and spot spray all this stuff, or come in and pull it all out, which I don't mind doing. We're doing a rotation of obviously continuous buckwheat and winter rye is really good because the root systems in both those plants go very deep, and they're rugged. They're very rugged. So like, I bet you if I go pull one of these roots out over here, like this guy, see that? It's got a good root system, and it's not even really mature yet. So it's holding all that soil together, and that's what we want. I forgot to put a pin in on this guy, so came off while I was going, but good to go now, thankfully. Just got done raking this plot. Ground was actually quite a bit softer than I thought it was. I think we may have been okay with just seeding right on top of it, but I Yeah, it was pulling up some of the ryegrass, which I didn't think it would do. I thought it would just kind of go over top of it or pull the tops off. I'm glad to see that these roots stayed in the ground, at least some of them. Anyway, I didn't think the York rake would pull them up, but I definitely saw a lot of it in the back of the rake, but I'm hoping it was just kind of ripping it off like you see here. But you can see that the ground is pretty soft. I thought it was a lot harder, to be honest. We've got a lot of work to do on this plot, but you know, the buckwheat and the rye are both really good for keeping the soil where it is, because their roots are so big and go so deep. And then probably what we'll do is we'll do some clover, different types of clover in here, get some nitrogen in here. Clover grows very thick together and stuff, so it's also very good for the soil. And then we'll probably disc that right into the ground once we get a better base. Because my worry now is if we do too much disking, it's just gonna, every rainfall, it's just gonna take away more and more soil. So I think I actually took up too much soil even with this York rake, which I wasn't expecting, but I think it'll be okay. It's only about an inch at most, probably in most places where it's soft. So hopefully the first rain that comes is nice and light, just kind of packs everything down. And if any more comes, well, it's supposed to come for 3 days. So I'm just hoping that it doesn't wash the buckwheat seed away, but luckily the buckwheat seed is about as big as my pinky, so we should be okay. But gonna head back, get some water. I don't know if you can see how freaking buggy it is, but it is gnarly. Gonna go get some water. I can hear my Uncle Stevie over here disking up one of the other plots with a little pull behind disker we have, because we're gonna try Milo in that plot. All right, so just had a little bit of lunch, some water, Gatorade. It's getting cloudy, as you can see. This rain's coming, so I'm gonna go plant that south food plot I just did with buckwheat. I filled this bag completely up. Basically 50 pounds does an acre. That food plot is like 0.3, 0.2, something like that, but I filled our seeder almost full because I want to overseed it, just in case if stuff doesn't take with the bad soil over there, if some of it gets washed away, we'll still hopefully have a good base and a good yield for when it comes time to spray, crimp, seed into, and plant the fall, winter, spring blend. So we also we have a roller, which is right there, but last year the rubber it cracked, and so it leaks water everywhere. So I found this plastic pallet that we put some weight on the back, and then this rope will go to the back of this four-wheeler here, and I'm gonna just do a nice drag. So the weight in the back will kind of help pack a little bit down and cover up this seed a little bit. But this one's kind of like a trial and error. Usually I use that roller with water in it, and it's heavy and it packs the soil down, but it's so soft and sandy over here, and I didn't go deep because I only used the York rake, that I don't think the roller wouldn't have done much anyway. We'll definitely use the roller where my Uncle Stevie dissed over in the old food plot, because that's really good soil over there. That's where we'll be heading next after this, but let's go seed this food plot and see how it goes. All right, here at the food plot. Yeah, let's just start putting some seed down. You can see the seeds right here. So as you can see, I went pretty heavy. Like I said, this is the big erosion spot here, so I went even a little bit heavier here. Just hopefully some of them will hold. But yeah, you can see them all over. Got one there, got one there, right there. So should be good. Now I'm gonna hook up this, I don't even know what you want to call it. I guess it's just a drag with some weight. I'll see how it how it's working. If the weight is too much, then I'm gonna take the weight off and I'll just drag it without any weight. But I think it should be okay. It was a bit of a pain in the butt. That thing kept snagging on stuff and whatnot. I just wanted to get it done because I thought it was gonna start raining hard, but it seems like it has kind of stopped. So I'm going to plant, I'm gonna go plant the old food plot. We call it the old food plot because it was here when we bought this property. And it's got really good, decent soil in it. So we're gonna go plant some buckwheat on half of it where we're gonna put the fall, winter, spring blend. And then we've also got some Milo that we're gonna try this year. We've cut a strip down the middle and kind of cut the clover and the buckwheat, where the buckwheat will go, in half. And so we're gonna put this down and kind of see how it is. We also did the edge, the very edge. We're gonna plant it in there too and just kind of see. I don't know if it's gonna take well on the edges because there was so much grass and stuff in there, but we did kill it, or we did spray it. So we'll just kind of have to see what happens, but it should be good either way. I'm excited to see what happens. This is, we get it from Northwoods whitetail. So this is what it looks like. This is the Milo. Buckwheat's in the bag. You guys saw that last time. So, all right, so here's the other food plot. So all that down there, I just let grow up. It's super, super wet down there. As you can see, we've got a lot of springs that run year round. And I've had to dig these trenches. This year it blew through here and just totally screwed up some of the clover right here. But this runs basically year round. And I've got a ditch on the edge that runs all the way down. You can see it right here. So on these black strips you see here that go all the way down, we've planted some red dogwood osier. So that's coming up really nice, as you can see. Deer absolutely love to munch on this stuff. Last year it got nipped right there, you can see, and it's growing. This got nipped last year. That part will die, but this is coming out nice. Some smaller one here, nice one here that got nipped there last year. So that's going all the way down on both sides. This second year it's really been taken off. Last year it was like not much happened. And you will come down this road, and then the food plots there, we have a mock scrape on the back side, and we've planted the miscanthus grass all through here so that we can come in, not be seen by anything in that food plot. We're thinking about a tree stand maybe here with a run in between all this dogwood osiers. We planted this year. The other stuff we planted last year. So at some point we're gonna cut a kind of run through here for them and have a tree stand up there in that tree. Some deer tracks, they're all over in here. Some walking through the stream right there. So this right here is all winter rye that came back up. Obviously a lot of weeds too, but Uncle Steve sprayed this today. So this is the winter rye that came back up from last year's fall, winter, spring blend. So it's looking really good. What I'm gonna do is I'll be able to seed right into this, and then I'm gonna lay it down with a cultipacker thing. So it's sprayed. I'm gonna seed into it, and it'll basically crimp itself like this. When I roll it over, it's gonna crimp. So you see that bend in the rod right there. Now no nutrients can get up to that, the rest of that, and it'll die. So you don't have to spray it, we just do. And then you can see this strip here that's on the outside and runs up the middle of this food plot. That is where we are gonna plant this Milo. So we'll plant it all through here, up through here. This is the clover. Clover's looking nice. So we're gonna do all this. do some milo all the way around the edge, and then this middle spot here will all be fall, winter, spring blend. And again, this year, usually this doesn't get this moss, but for some reason we just had a really like long and late spring. This is the mock scrape we've got. I just hung this is like an evergreen, a spruce tree branch, and I change it every couple years because, as you can see, these all die. But basically, once all these little ones break off, I'll switch it out for a new one. But they love this thing. No, I'm not worried about touching it, and the scent, they don't really, it's never bothered them, so I'm not worried about it. And you can see this has been here for 4-something years. That's a 4-wheeler track, but you can see some tracks in here. That's a 4-wheeler. But here's a little doe spot right here. We just had pictures the other day of them in here. Good day, we got a lot done. All the necessary things got done today, as far as seeding and getting the food plots ready and planted. So the reason why we plant stuff right now is we're not planting food for the deer. We're planting buckwheat because we do a no-till now, instead of having to rototill everything every year. And our whole property is kind of like on this mountain side, so everything slopes down, and we want to help with the erosion. And you know, every winter when the snow melts, there's so much water coming off the mountain that it erodes a ton of stuff. And so we figured that out in the years past, and now we've been doing, this will be the second year doing this no-till process, which is buckwheat now, either early or late March. Did you find your phone? No?